Hello everyone, today's video is going to be Chinese centric, and the reason why is I wanted to do a quick video on 5 reasons I think you should do Chinese, or I say do, well you should learn Chinese, and Mandarin to be specific. I can speak some Chinese, 我可以说中文，不过只一点. And I apologise to any native or anyone who is fluent in Chinese and if my pronunciation was off. Number 1, I think it's a very beautiful language. The characters are very beautiful, and honestly once you get your head around the characters and you start to see that each character is kind of a picture of what the word means, it's actually really nice and really artistic. You can see the way that the characters, so this is da, which is big, and this is tai, which is too much. But if you actually look at the base of it, you can see it's like a big person with his hands out, and then too much is you've got that extra sort of leg or flick, and that's so tai, too much. I really enjoy the fact that these characters are pictures. The second thing I want to say about Chinese is that it is as hard as they say, but only at first. The first lesson I had in Chinese, the teacher was like, "Oh, ni hao." I was like, "Okay, I got this. Ni hao ma, 我很好，谢谢你呢." And then it carried on, and then she was like, "Oh, 今天你做什么?" And I was like, to this day I still have trouble with the correct tones, because obviously it's a tonal language, and it was hard. I was like, this is not for me. Who told me to pick Chinese or Mandarin as a language? Why did I do this to myself? But then the more I did it, the more I listened, the more I read, the more I sort of threw myself into it, the easier it became. The best thing that I learned was booming by, because when I said it to my teacher, she's like, "Okay, cool, this is how you do it." I think booming by and bujadao are the two things. So yeah, but it is hard. It will never not be hard, but that's the fun in it, and it's a language. Of course it's going to be hard. It's like no one's picking up that piano and suddenly they're Mozart out in here, like Beethoven up in the streets. It's not happening. You got to work, but it's definitely worth it. So number 3 reason why you should do Chinese, I love shock factor, and so far I've found that saying to people that, "Oh yeah, I can speak," or "I know some Mandarin," is definitely one of the biggest things I've seen. Shock factor is off scale, and I think also there's an appreciation when you sort of meet Chinese people or people who can speak Mandarin and they don't expect you to. When they hear you speaking it, or they hear you trying to at least say something, there is that sort of, wow, you've taken the time out. And I know that I found that when I've spoken with people who English isn't their first language and they've tried, no, even if it's wrong, they've tried, I love it, because I'm like, you know what, you're trying. And anyone who laughs at someone else for not being able to sort of speak English properly, or, "Oh, you should be able to speak it properly if you're in the..." Listen, guaranteed they can speak English or whatever the language is better than you can speak whatever their language is, honey, okay? So definitely, if you want that shock factor, Mandarin is it. Another thing I like about Chinese, and another reason why you should learn, is you'll find that although the sentence structure is the opposite to English, because for example you'd say, "What did you do today?" Or like, "What is your name?" They would be like, "Your name is what?" or "Today you did what?" So it is opposite, but once you sort of get your head around that, I really do like the way that sometimes, not always, but sometimes it's way less words. Like for example, "Oh, what did you do today?" is "Today you did what?" So you cut out a word. So it's 今天你做什么? You cut out a whole word. And I'm like, easy. And also what I love is, so I at school I did French and Italian. Don't ask me anything in French or Italian because it's not happening. And what I always found so hard with those languages was the fact it was like masculine, feminine, past, future tense, plural, divided by, and I'm like, what's happening? In Chinese you don't have that, and you don't change the way you say a word based on when it is. So all you'd have to do is you'd put, if you saw, like 看到了, Whereas in some languages it would change completely, and it'll be like, well, I heard, so you'd have to put this word and this word, and my brain would be like, to have a language where it feels like, I mean, I could be completely wrong, but from what I've learned so far, where it feels like there are certain things that it is straightforward. So that I really do like about it. And I think, yeah, I don't know what I was going to say then. But that moves me on to my final point. And my final point is I love films, TVs and stuff. And I'd have to say that learning Chinese has given me a deeper appreciation when I watch Chinese dramas and films. Because, and it's again, it's only like the odd thing, but sometimes I'll be listening and I'll be like, oh, I understand what it is without having to read the subtitles, and I kind of find myself reading the subtitles as a second thought, and then I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't read the subtitles, because now I don't know if it was, I know what it was because I read the subtitles or because I understood the Chinese, and now I'm like, oh, which one was it? And to be fair, that goes with any language anyone's learning, and that is my fifth reason for why you should learn, because how cool would that be? You're just, you know, watching the film, everyone else reading the subtitles, you're on your phone, and then be like, oh, you're not even watching it, and they'd be like, well, actually, he just said da-da-da and da-da-da, da-da-da, and that one, and they went and did that, and they'd be like, how'd you know that? Oh, because I can understand. I heard. So yeah, those are my top 5 reasons why you should study Chinese. I thought I'd do a bit of a personal touch in terms of why you should learn, and I hope that you like that. And I'd like to say this applies, I think, to all languages. I think we should all learn languages. When I was at school, languages weren't pushed. Like, I did French from year 7 until, I did it for GCSE. What possessed me, I don't know. But I did it for GCSE as well. So year 7 until year 11, please, I know nothing. I know j'habite Londres. Londres? See? J'habite avec my family. I think I live with my family. But yeah, I shall now bring this video to an end. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that button. Help me grow. So yeah, until next time, 再见.